You know, your breaking into the fold has also been an interesting one because, I mean, you know, you carry the Nadar surname. I mean, you could have just been brought in and placed at the top. But the way you got into the fold is when you came back, you first joined the HCL foundations, the Shiv Nadar foundations, then you moved to the board, then you sat on the board for a while, and it's only after a few years that you observed things that you were allowed to take on the hot seat of the chairperson. How would you describe this journey and the process of breaking in that you've had over the years?
So, you know, when I returned from business school, actually I returned and the holding company of the group, which is HCL Corporation, you know, Shiv immediately made me the CEO of HCL Corporation. You know, HCL Corporation, because of its shareholding structure of the companies, has a balance sheet that's almost as big as the operating companies themselves. So I think it was an instant, you know, push into the deep side of, you know, how to actually manage and run a large portfolio. And that taught me a lot. And that was 2009. And it was a very interesting time between 2009 2013. I was actually spending a lot of time between both the group companies, HCL Technologies as well as HCL Infosystems, working in different departments, working with different leaders. You know, at one point I was on the shop floor at our manufacturing facility in Pondicherry, because those days we used to make computers. You know, then I was in Vineet's office working with Zulfia in marketing. So I think there were lots of roles that got me familiarized with the huge group that was there. And in 2013, I was inducted on the board. And, you know, I think it was a very interesting time because, you know, one was also then seeing transition from, you know, Vineet as a CEO, then to Anant, and then from Anant to CVK. In the last couple of years, our own transition from Anil being a CFO for so long to Prateek now being the CFO, lots of board changes as well. So I think that it was a very interesting induction because I think Shiv deliberately made sure that I was always in places where key decision making takes place, because it decides the trajectory and the strategic direction for the group in the organization. So, you know, Shiv stepped off as the chairman last year, at which point, you know, I was appointed. And so I think it's been a very interesting journey, but always being at the forefront of where key decisions get made that really decide, you know, the future of the organization was very critical in my learning journey.
So let me ask you this. You've named, or you spoke about all these CEOs and sitting on the board and sort of imbibing the culture of the group. At any point, you know, you could have easily been marked as an outsider because you were a woman and you were the boss's daughter. Did you ever feel any sign of resistance or a trace of resistance as you were working your way into the top of the group? Or do you think you were accepted with open arms without any kind of rancor?
I mean, I wouldn't know, right? And I guess it wouldn't matter. So, you know, and no, you know, Udayan, you know, I'm an only child. I've been around Shiv and just been around all these individuals at office literally since I was a kid. So, you know, I think a lot of my equations with a lot of these people is also not just professional, but actually quite personal. So it's a very different equation. It's difficult to explain, but I think they've all been my mentors and teachers at some point as well. So, you know, I've known a lot of the individuals at HCL for such a long time that I think it was, I hope it was okay.